You've got 5 minutes, a white paper, PDF, and someone on Twitter swearing this token is going to 10x by Friday. So what do you actually do with that? The crypto graveyard is littered with projects that had beautiful decks, buzzword-heavy roadmaps, and founders who vanished faster than the liquidity pool. Let's start with the white paper itself, because this document is supposed to be the soul of the project. And most of them read like a college student copy-pasted Wikipedia and added the word decentralized 47 times. If you can't find a clear explanation of what problem the token actually solves within the first 2 pages, close the tab, because vagueness is a feature, not a bug, for teams planning to disappear. The next thing you're looking for is tokenomics, which is just a fancy way of asking who gets the money and when. If the team holds 40 or 50% of the supply with a 3-month vesting cliff, you are not an investor, you are an exit strategy. Now flip your attention to the team, because anonymous founders aren't automatically a red flag. Satoshi was anonymous, but anonymous founders with no verifiable history, no GitHub commits, and a LinkedIn that was created last Tuesday absolutely is. Search every name, run the photos through a reverse image search, and check whether their previous projects are still alive or just ghost websites with a Wayback Machine archive. Look for advisors next, and understand that a wall of LinkedIn headshots means almost nothing unless those people are actually reachable and publicly associated with the project. If the advisor list includes a former government official, a celebrity, and someone whose title is just visionary, you are looking at a decoration strategy, not a credibility strategy. Check the GitHub repository, and yes, this sounds technical, but you don't need to read code. You just need to see whether people are actually committing to it regularly, or whether the last update was 14 months ago and says initial commit, a dead repo on a live project is the on-chain equivalent of finding cobwebs in a restaurant kitchen. Here's where history becomes your best teacher. Projects like BitConnect and Squid Game Token both had white papers, communities, and hype cycles that felt completely different from each other, and yet the pattern was identical, which was insiders selling into retail enthusiasm. Every generation of investors swears the new cycle is different, and every cycle has at least one rug that makes the news and temporarily humbles everyone. A common misconception is that a long, technical white paper signals legitimacy, when in reality, complexity is sometimes used to obscure the absence of a real business model. The question you should always be asking is not, do I understand this? But rather, why don't they want me to understand this? Practical checklist time. Confirm the token has a clear utility that exists without speculation. Verify the smart contract has been audited by a named third party like Certicay or Hacken, and check whether that audit is actually linked and not just mentioned. 2 sentences isn't enough to cover everything. So the shorthand rule is this: if you can't explain why this token needs to exist in 1 sentence, neither can the founders. Discipline here is everything, because the most dangerous moment in crypto is not a bear market. It is a bull market where every project looks like a winner and your position sizing goes completely out the window. Enter small, define your exit before you enter, and treat conviction as a liability rather than an asset when real money is on the line. There is a certain irony in the fact that the projects screaming the loudest about disrupting traditional finance are often the ones most dependent on the oldest trick in traditional finance, which is selling a story before delivering a product. The market rewards patience and punishes FOMO with a consistency that would be almost poetic if it weren't so expensive. Philosophically, the goal isn't to find the next 100x gem every time, it's to survive long enough and stay rational enough that when a genuinely strong project does cross your screen, you still have capital and clarity to act on it. Discipline, sizing, and consistency are the only edge that compounds reliably across cycles, because timing is luck dressed up in a chart pattern. You don't need to be right about every token. You just need to avoid being catastrophically wrong about the ones that wipe you out, and a 5-minute checklist done honestly will protect you more than hours of hopeful research into a project you already emotionally decided to buy. Preparation isn't pessimism. It's what separates the people still in the game in year 5 from the ones who have a sad story about the metaverse. Whether you're vetting a white paper, building a portfolio, or just trying to make smarter financial moves across the board, check out our links in the description below. We can help you get started in real estate investing, home contracting work, and connecting with lenders who actually make sense for your situation.